friends. Welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome to Code Wars Code Katas episode 45, where we will finally defeat the tiny 3-pass compiler. Well, we're gonna break things down one step at a time. We're gonna solve these katas, you and I. We're gonna break things down one step at a time. We're gonna solve these katas, you and I. Code Wars, Code Katas, Code Wars, Code Katas, Code Wars, Code Katas, yeah. Welcome to the show. This is a rare second stream in one day, but welcome back. And as I mentioned, we're going to be solving Code Wars Code Katas, and Saints Plays with the raid of 9. Do you stream Saints Plays? Welcome, though. Welcome. Welcome, Raiders. We are just getting started. If you're new to Code Wars, and if you're new to this show, go to github.com/codinggarden/code-katas. And all of the solutions for past episodes are here, and all of the solutions for the things that I do tonight will be here as well. Tonight we are revisiting a kata that we have visited in 2 or 3 prior episodes. It has eluded me, but we're almost there, and we're going to finish it this time. And usually I don't do such hard problems. Sometimes I also do easy problems, but I explain them. So if you have any suggestions for code katas to do, you can submit an issue on this GitHub repo, and I'll give it a try. And if you are new to Code Wars, you can go to codewars.com, and you can see all of the different coding problems that they have for you to solve. And we particularly are going to do a 1Q, which is the hardest in terms of difficulty, and the other ones, 8Q is the easiest, 1Q is the hardest. And yes, we will mod David Snyder. I believe that's the same person. Let me double check my Discord message, because I think that's the same person from the Discord. David Snyder 404. All right, let's do it. Psh. Copy. Mod. Oh, that's the wrong thing. There we go. Welcome to the Twitch side, David. And let's say hello to everyone. And oh, cool. So Saints Plays, also known as Kobe, is one of our mods, but they were streaming for the first time today. That's good to hear. Thanks for bringing all your friends over here. Much appreciated. Okay. Let's say hello. That's what we're doing here right now. Hello, Clay. Welcome to the show. Hello, Majestic Eye. And yeah, if you do, I think it's Pog U. It gets interpreted as Hungarian. Maybe not. Which one is it? I think you can do Pog U. Pogu? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. And hello, Terrazoid. Welcome to the stream. What's up, Bob, who says, so I'll show up on the greetings tab. Yeah, so right now, we got to fix this, but this tab really only looks for, like, hello and hi and a couple of other things, but we got to fix that. There was actually a really good suggestion in the Discord to allow people to modify what gets detected as a hello, and I think we'll do that in the future. So it can be dynamically added, like a mod could say, oh, that word means hello, and then it'll show up here too. Because right now this does not detect the word hey. And hello, Nika. I am having a good day. I hope you're having a good day too. And Herbie says it's 2 a.m. Oh, well, thanks for dropping by. Have a good night. And hello, Nicholas. Popcorn. And what's up, Rabbitworks? Welcome. It's been a while since I've seen you in here. Hello, my new brain. Welcome. Oh, which one is this? Which emote is that? Because that's the one that also gets detected as some other language. Easy. Easy. Cool. I am always so happy. I'll be honest, though, like, my vision is a little blurry right now. I don't know why. Hopefully I don't pass out. I probably won't pass out. The chat translator is drunk, that's true. Hello, Brandon, good to see you too. Can't start this stream until the bouncing seedling hits the corner. Yeah. So, do you all like my new opening? It's called a sugar overdose. I guess it could be. I haven't had that much sugar today. I don't know. But did you like my new opening screen? It's pretty cool, huh? It's got the bouncing logo and chat overlaid and stuff like that. Hola, Carlos. Welcome. And hello, Jules. Oh, and Daniel Garden says, I just lost my job 5 minutes ago. Thanks for streaming. It will cheer me up. I am so sorry to hear that, Daniel. But Hopefully, it's just a temporary thing because of the whole pandemic and people having to let people go. But if you need any help with the job search, just let us know. Reach out in the Discord. And hello, Kevin. Welcome. Hello, it's me. Yeah, Scarbird says it'll get better. I honestly believe that. And welcome, Carlos. You are early. What's up, Bob? Epic. Oh yeah, thank you. And thanks again for the raid, Saints Plays. You cannot drop Markdown. Well, I think you can. You technically could do a drop with a Markdown image. I believe that'll work. Ah! Hello, Lightbam. and all the raiders apparently are rickrolling me. Hello, Nika and Saints Plays and David Snyder. Code Fatas? Did I say Code Fatas? And hello, Duskust. And Neon. Yes, we will defeat this kata today. And just real quick to show you which one it is, it's called the Tiny 3-Pass Compiler. Basically, we are implementing code that can parse mathematic expressions and compile them into runnable programs. So we're given an expression that looks like this. This is how you define like inputs, and then this is your expression, and you have to write the code that will actually compile and run this. Not just evaluate it, but turn it into a program that can be run. And the first pass, we created an abstract syntax tree. So we took this and turned it into a tree that we can then attempt to evaluate. So that's what's up next. We have to simplify the tree and then do something, and then turn that tree into an assembly-like language, and then we'll be able to actually run programs on it. And that's what we're going to do today. And I think we're going to do it. We're going to defeat it. Oh, thank you, Kagri, for thinking about me, and I'm glad you could be here. And thanks for the follow, Amr. And you got modded. Welcome, Umber. It says, I'm running a web server on EC2 locally. Do I have to keep EC2 running if I want the website running? Or can I log out and the website would still be running? For that, you typically use some sort of process manager or a service manager. If it's node.js, then PM2 is a really good tool. And you can actually use PM2 with anything, not just node.js, but it is a process manager that keeps things running in the background, and if it ever runs into an error, it'll automatically restart the process. So you can check out PM2. But there are like Linux things that will work as well if it's not Node.js. And never gonna give you up. Well, thank you, Nika. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to tune in, Saints Plays. I didn't know that you were streaming. To round out this kata, recycle the code and use it for an exclamation math command on the bot. You know what? That could be cool. So the thing about like adding expression commands or math commands to a bot is that you potentially, if you're like using eval, run the risk of like command injection. But if we compile that code and run it through our little program, that could actually work. I like that idea, Doc. That's great. CJ is short for cute J. Okay. We still need to start a repo with all the possibilities of CJ. And hello, Joe Mama. Do I have anything covering multiple API requests? Not that I can think of offhand, but are you meaning like you're in a front-end application and you have to call an API and then potentially call the API again with data you got back from the previous request? Is that what you're talking about? VIPs are cooler than mods. It's, it's relative. And what's up, Munji? And my new brain, hello. And Proxin. The command could feed into the training data for the greeting classifier. Not the math command, but the command for adding new things to hello and hi, right? That absolutely could work. And let's say some hellos. Hello, David Snyder. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Alan from Argentina. Welcome. Tom says, this is the best time for you to stream because it's morning at my place. Have a nice stream. Oh, thank you, Tom. Yeah, it varies. Like, the mornings for me are good for a lot of people on the other side of the world. And the evenings for me are good for people on, I guess, the different other side of the world. And hello, Jorge. Welcome. And Capagnucci. Welcome. And Banana Crazy. And Kevin. What's up? And Mauricio. And Sean. Hello. And DV Man. And Free Debugs. Welcome to the show. Easy. Oh, Manjil was looking at one of my YouTube playlists. That's cool. I am always happy. Just try to stay positive. There's not really any... I mean, I guess the world is a sad place. There's a lot going on that we could be sad about. But just don't think about it. Just be happy. Oh, thank you, Nika. I hope so. Yeah, I applied for Twitch partnership. And so if that goes through, then I'll be able to enable subscriptions and such. If it doesn't go through, then I'm probably going to enable affiliate. And so you'll still be able to subscribe if you'd like to. Dankeschön. And hola, Carlos. I work remotely right now, of course, because we're in a pandemic, but I am allowed to work remotely pretty much as I want when things are normal. But I typically go into the office on Mondays. I have had 0 beers. I do not drink alcohol. Looking for any direction on calling a sequential API. You know what? I might have done something on this in the past. So I'll see if I can find you something. If you're on the Discord, just throw a message in the, let's say, the front end help channel. I'll see if I can find you a resource. If not, that sounds like a fun tutorial. So we might get into that. Blurred vision sounds perfect for tackling a compiler. Please don't pass out. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that overlay isn't on GitHub yet, but I'm going to push it up. Can you tell me how to mock the time zone for tests? That's a hard one. I would say search the web. You can probably find some good resources on it. But potentially, depending on how your code is written, instead of having to create a date object, could you actually just mock the date object to be literally an object with the right properties and mocked like get time functions and get day functions and stuff like that? That might be the way to do it. And there might be a library that does that for you. I'm surrounded by swords. Good things diamonds are stronger than swords. It's good to have a mix of VIPs and mods. If I just modded everybody, then the chat would be a little overwhelming, wouldn't it? I don't know. Currently making a CRUD API in PHP. Got you on in the background. Well, we're going to be doing JavaScript, but good luck with that, Bob. Does rickrolling in a raid message count for the Hall of Fame? I would say no. And I was technically being rickrolled by like 9 people all at the same time. I don't really know. Where's PM1? I don't know. And we're talking in relation to PM2. I don't know. A compiler in probably JS? Yeah, that's the plan. And Amon uses PM2 on Volter, so that's cool. Cool, yeah, I'll definitely follow so we can watch. Oh, and by the way, I am now a member of the Live Coders team. If you're watching on Twitch, you can see a link below. It says Team Live Coders. So I just joined today, and I'm super excited about that. Alka is also a member of the Live Coders team. And if you check out twitch.tv/team/livecoders, you can see all of the other Live Coders that are on the team, and you can see I'm on there. Look at me. I'm on the list. Oh, thank you, Rao. Much appreciated. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Yeah. It's happening. You know what I need? So I know a lot of the live coders have a bot that detects when other live coders come into the chat. I need that. We need to code that. That's like the first thing we need to code after we build this tiny 3-pass compiler. Not today. Maybe Friday. I don't know. We're just getting started, but let's take a quick stretch. And actually, I forgot to notify people that have the mobile app. So let me do that really quick. So I have a mobile app. It's like an alpha. It's not available freely on the store yet. And the idea is you can install this app and pretty much get instant notifications of when I go live, if I actually remember to send the notification. So there's that. More people can tune in. But eventually it will be on the App Store and you can just download it. It's morning here, 3 a.m. Oh, dang. Do you stay up like late like Alka does as well? Everyone in Germany is literally watching at 2 a.m. I like those people. Do I meditate? I have gone through times in my life where I meditated quite a bit, but recently I actually have not. But yeah, I do believe it to be beneficial. Can I do a Pluralsight JavaScript test just for fun? Oh, I've done it before. Well, let's look at my Twitter feed. I'm in like the 99th percentile for Node.js. How do I search my Twitter feed? Is that a thing I can do? Coding Garden Pluralsight. From Coding Garden. Plural? Test. I don't know. Somebody can search for it. But if you find that tweet, like feel free to throw a link in the chat. But yeah, I did those tests. Vibes. What's up, Will? Jacob says only on Mondays. What about Mondays? Oh, in terms of going into the office, for the most part, I work remotely when I can. Sometimes I'll go in the morning and then work um, from home in the afternoon. But Mondays is when we have like an all company meeting, so it's good to be there in person. Yes. Agreed. Nice. Hello, Vu. Welcome. What is Seedling School? That was a thing that I tried for a little while. Um, and I probably want to do more of it. It's just I don't have time for a lot of these things. But the idea was um, I was going to create, and I did create at least one, and I think it was beneficial to the people that did decide to do it. But I created um, these project requirements, and so basically this document right here is a write up for a front end project that you could add to your portfolio as a web developer looking for a job or something like that. And what we did, and we did this live on stream, is we came up with all of the project requirements. We came up with what it should have, what it should do. We came up with requirements for what you should be building. We gave you examples of example project ideas. Um, and one of the constraints or requirements was that you contact a third-party web API. So we give you links and ideas for types of APIs. So we made all of that. And then the idea was you could create a project and open an issue on this repo, and then I would attempt to review it if I had the time. And this also would become like a repository for projects that meet those requirements so you can get ideas for your portfolio. But all in all, I think I only ended up having the time to review like 10 of the projects. I think we reviewed at least the second page of projects. The issue was like doing it live on stream. There was a lot of chats, and I got distracted a lot, so it was really hard to do. But what I wanted to do is kind of like create a basis for code reviews and a code review checklist and things like that. So that was the initial thread of Seedling School. And then the other thing is, after we created all those requirements, I started doing live streams that taught about the different things that you would need to know to do that project. But we only got so far. And eventually I want to keep doing it because we could create different project requirements for like full stack projects or back end only projects or group projects and different things like that. So that's the idea. And thanks for the follow 003N. Welcome. Sword. Could I do a tutorial on creating API endpoints for a website? Oh, yeah. So really what I was doing there, Jorge, is web scraping. So essentially, if a website doesn't have an API or even an undocumented API, one of the only things you can do really is scrape it if you're trying to get the data off of it. And so that's what I did for Letterbox, which is a really cool website, which I found out about because someone did a project where they were going to attempt to use their API, but people create lists of films. And they're really cool because it's not like algorithm generated. They're like hand picked. So things like you're not the same person once once the film is finished. Cool short animations or movies. They're just different lists like that. And so this place has an API, but then they shut it down. So I created a scraper that puts an API on top of it. Is web scraping safe? You really should look at the what are the words? What's the word? I can't think. You know all those words, the terms of service. Thank you, Alka. Look at the terms of service of a website. The thing is, and even like the robots.txt, but the terms of service on a website will usually say that they don't want you to create some sort of or write code that would access the website more than a normal human would. So if you write your web scraping in a way that behaves like a human would, some of them are okay with it. Is this a fun little thing if we look at the robots.txt for Twitch? Let's see. Yeah, and so the robots.txt is typically used by search engines, but it says what the search engines should not index, but typically scrapers can look at that as well. Yeah, I'm having a hard time forming words today. So this tiny 3-pass compiler might be a stretch. But yeah, you want to look at the terms of service, and if you look at recent news, there actually was someone that took a company to court because they tried to sue them for web scraping, and there was some court ruling in the United States that said that web scraping was okay, but your mileage may vary. Don't denial of service a website. Yeah, I don't do words well. Right, cool, Majestic. I appreciate that you're cool with being a VIP because you are a VIP. Yeah. System CTO, there you go. This is the thing that's built into Linux for managing services and keeping things running when you log out. Thank you for all the congrats, Sean, and the person that I just acknowledged. I went to my local grocery store and they are out of yerba mate. No! Actually, so I've been to the grocery store probably 3 times during this pandemic. The last time I went was over a week ago, I think. Yeah, I didn't go this weekend. It was over a week ago. But the specific brand of yerba mate that I like, nobody is buying in the pandemic. So I can always find some, which is nice. Because when there wasn't a pandemic, it was actually sold out a lot of times. And hello, Mr. Darkside. Welcome. Yeah. From... Oh, yeah. That was that thing that we did earlier. Does slow mode affect VIPs? I don't think so. Or does it? Yeah. Do I think Electron.js gets a bad rap without justification? Looking to develop a desktop app and only know JavaScript. The thing is, there are ways of creating desktop applications that create a much smaller bundle. Because they're potentially compiled to native code and they don't have to ship the entire Chromium browser and the entire like Node.js runtime. So that's why people don't like it. But it's really easy to get up and running. You can use what you know. So, you know, if it works, it works. That's what I say. Fun fact, Twitch viewers are 1.8 times more likely to have their chat message read than YouTube. I have absolutely no stats to back this up, but if you're on YouTube, you should head over here and help CG out with view counts for the partner application. I appreciate that mention, Doc. So yes, if you are watching on YouTube right now, I would very much appreciate it if you headed over to Twitch, dropped a follow, and watched there instead. Twitch.tv/codinggarden. It's a fun place. There's less delay, so you can react faster to the things that I say. And also your chats show up purple. So if you like purple more than red, that's a plus. What else? What are some other good things? Oh, the emotes. Twitch has lots of cool emotes. Just click this little button. Well, I have an extension installed, but regardless, there are lots of cool emotes. All these global emotes and such. So that's a reason to come over to Twitch. Thanks for the follow, Tobias. People. All right, I've been streaming for 26 minutes and we've written 0 code, but that's okay. We're just catching up. And you know what typically happens when I'm about to tackle this problem is I start to procrastinate because it's a hard problem. We do need another game night. Did you see when I streamed Onitama? Because that was kind of a game night. I am now a purple boy. Welcome, Bink. Welcome to the Twitch side. Any other hobbies than coding? I like to play guitar. I haven't done that a lot lately, but I do like that. I like to skateboard. I also haven't done that a lot lately. I just like to code. I code for fun. And thanks for the follow, Why Bad Dragon. I got on like 10 minutes. Oh, okay. So you didn't get to see the Onitama stream. But that was kind of a game night because we collectively played Onitama together. But I might make Sunday, or maybe every other Sunday, a game night, because that's always fun. I'm starting to feel like YouTube viewers are Microsoft and Twitch versus Apple. YouTube viewers are Microsoft and Twitch is Apple. Yeah. Fun fact, 1,000 new followers since you built the Twitch follow counter. Oh, thank you, Sean. I didn't even keep track of what it was before. Oh, and nice drop, David. 99.38. Great work. But yeah, the cool thing about that counter over there is we can go back in the YouTube archive and see what it used to be. I guess we could technically, can we call a Twitch API for that? But yeah, we've got a lot of followers. That's good. FYI, I bought the domain I used to Rickroll you because I do plan to make a weather app in sometime in the future. Yeah, so I got Rickrolled by my new mods this morning, and it was funny for them, and it was a really good Rickroll because here's the thing. one of the mods, Kobe, messaged me before the stream and he was like, "Hey, David's having issues with his React app. You think you can take a look?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm gonna do Katas, so maybe send the link like in the middle of the stream." So they sent it. I trust them. They're new mods. They've never tried to troll me before, and I got rickrolled. So, and thanks for the follow. Call me Fabio, much appreciated. The other follows I missed. Geyer Sunboy, thanks for the follow. And Tobias, thanks for the follow. And KJ, and Diecast, and Why Bad Dragon, and Call Me Fabio, thanks for the follow. So yeah, we have 2 new mods, Kobe and David, and they have joined the ranks of people that have rickrolled me. And we need to update the site, but there is a Rickroll Hall of Fame where you can watch all the clips of every time that I have been rickrolled here on stream. And it's, you're not a real mod unless you've rickrolled CJ. It's so true. It's a fun time. The thing is, this is such an old thing. Like, who even rickrolls anymore, right? Right? I don't know. But still, it's fun. And if you can see some like seriously cool rickrolls. Check the ones from Doc. Do you have more than one on here, Doc? This might be the one. December 10th. Check it. It's amazing. Yeah, he makes the best rickrolls. He rickrolled me in the terminal. Yeah, there are a lot of mods here, but I think it keeps the new chatters at bay, I guess. We don't really get any trolls here. I mean, every now and then, but yeah. I am live again, the great Salmon, Solomon. You have so much energy and how do you have so much energy and a positive vibe? I'm always exhausted after coding. Coding does not exhaust me. I mean, if I code for a long time, I will get exhausted, but for me, solving problems and interacting and talking about the things that I love, that keeps me energized. And it just so happens that I really love to code. So, yeah. Terms of service, licensing. Yeah, that's it. And hello, Fledra TV. Welcome back. I think you were here earlier. Welcome. A popular weather website makes all endpoints totally free if you specify a JSON padding. Which weather API are you talking about? I don't do words well. And hey, Flu, welcome to the show. Sanjay, somebody's going to need to send CJ an ambulance. No, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Hello, Mr. Darkside. Welcome. How is this not detected as a greeting? It's literally the word hi. Well, we are 6 minutes behind on chat. I think I'm going to do a quick scroll, and then we're going to start writing some code. And hello, Fishy Dev. Welcome. And thanks for the follow, Jeffrey, please. Yerba isn't even a thing over here. Oh, in the country that you... In Germany? Yeah. It originated in Argentina, I believe. Fun fact. Last 2 lines of the robot's text. Oh, thank you, Dark Hunter. Oh, nice, Fledra. Glad to have you here, even if you're not chatting. User agent in SA. Disallow everything. That's hilarious. This is the Discord robots.txt. Monte is from Argentina. Cool. Amazing. All right, let's take a quick stretch, and then we're going to get into it. But if you have any questions, thoughts that I didn't get to, feel free to ask them again. Hopefully I'll see them in the chat up there. And I think maybe I'll disable the LED and Connect 4 today. What do you all think? Should I leave this up or take it down? Type a 1 if I should leave it up. Type 2 if I should take it down. I didn't... 3 was not an option. So this is so funny. So we just saw it in action. So you saw how the YouTube chats swooped in because they came in afterwards because of YouTube's API. But technically, they sent that message before everyone else. All right, everyone's saying to turn it off. All right, we're going to turn it off. Gone. What is that anyway? If you're watching on Twitch, there's a description in my area down below, down there. But there's an LED command and a connect 4 command. Parse int 10,2. Oh, that's binary for 2. Nice, David. All right. I should develop a similar... Yeah, so I really want to do the robotic arm, which we did one live stream on building half of it. But eventually, once we get this going, we can make it so that chat can control the arm and such. Yeah. And hello, Yannick. Welcome. All right, let's get into this. So this is the problem that we're doing. It's the tiny 3-pass compiler. And we've already done pass 1, which is to turn an expression into an abstract syntax tree. So there's the link if you'd like to give it a try. And actually, let me update on Twitch really quick, because I think the show notes are out of date. Solving this kata. There we go. Okay, so Doc says, another recycling idea for this kata, adapt the parser for controlling the robot arm with a chat command by writing short logo-like programs. That's an amazing idea. I don't know what logo looks like, but yeah, we could write... So right now, the types of programs that we're parsing and compiling look like this, where you can have variable names as your input and then like a mathematical expression. But we could turn this into a much bigger thing, and it wouldn't be too hard. Right now, we just have certain operations like plus, minus, division, multiplication, but we could have other operations like go to and copy and different things like that. Beans! Welcome, Brandon. So yeah, it would be cool. I like this idea. We definitely have to revisit it. Okay, so I actually have this code locally. Does anyone know which episode of Code Katas I last worked on this in? Maybe it was episode 42? Yes, it was. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to copy episode 42 into episode 45. And we're going to start modifying the code from there. And thanks for the follow, Amatu and Ruza. Welcome to the show. Nathan says, can you replace your makedir command with Python or JavaScript? You technically can, depending on what shell you're using. You can create custom functions, and you could name a function something like makedir, and inside of that function, you could invoke a process. So it's possible. I'm going to reinstall the node module. So this particular project, I think we're using Jest for testing. We actually have tests written, which is cool. And I typically do this on the harder Code Katas problems because it can really help to break things down one step at a time and make sure that you're making these smaller unit tests pass. So that's what we did. And actually, if we run the tests right now, npm test, we can see all the passing tests. Yay, they're all passing, but that's only because we're only testing pass 1. Pass 2 is the next part. Oh, actually, never mind. No, we copy and pasted Doc's code last time, but we need to get rid of that because we're going to write it ourselves this time. Tests, yes. Logo looks something like repeat 10, forward 2, left 50. That looks great. Reminds me kind of like of, what's it called? Turtle? Is that logo? Where you could control the little turtle on the screen? Technically I started coding when I was like 12. That is logo. Okay, cool. I've seen that before. The yerba mate controversy has started. But why? npm CI clean install. Oh, I've never used that command before. I guess that could have worked instead of removing the node modules. Mate is not from Argentina. It's drank there, but also in Uruguay, Paraguay, and south of Chile. It was originally drank by native Guaranis of Paraguay. That's good to know. Thank you for the fun fact, Facundo. I'm not going to argue with that. I believe you. Logo is turtle-based. Ah, interesting. Okay, let's look at the code. We can look at index.js, and we were given this code, which is a class compiler. And we were also given this function called tokenize. So when you are compiling a program, one of the first steps is to take the text of the program and turn it into tokens. So if we look at some example programs, and actually, let's get rid of this. I can keep reduce AST. I want to write my own though, right? I didn't write reduce AST. Cool. So like this is an example of the program that we're parsing. And when we turn this into tokens, it's almost kind of like splitting it on spaces, but we basically take this string, and then a token would be something like open bracket. A token would be something like A, B, close bracket. Basically, everything here is a token. In this example, all of our variable names have a single letter, but if our variable names had potentially multiple letters, the tokenizer would account for that as well. The language is not, I don't think it's similar to that in Phi. If we can look in the problem description, and eventually our programs are going to look like this, which is, it's like a version of assembly code. I mean, it's technically assembly code for this little simulation machine that they give us. Is SQL difficult to master? I would say the basics are fairly easy to get up and going in terms of doing basic queries and basic creations of tables, but there are people that have entire degrees in database management and SQL. So to become truly a master, I would say so. It takes a lifetime of doing it and learning about it and coming across all different kinds of data modeling scenarios and querying scenarios and stuff like that. Yeah. There are degrees in garbage collection. I don't know what you mean by that. So tokenize will turn that program into tokens. And then we wrote this function, token to abstract syntax tree. And so an abstract syntax tree is basically a representation of that program, but in the format of a tree so that eventually it can be executed. So for example, this program, which takes A and B as input and then returns A times B plus B times B, each operation is a leaf node. So we would have a node with, oh, actually, no, technically each value is a leaf node, but we would have a wrapping node where the operation is multiplication and A is this value and B is this value. So every operation has two operands, and so we would turn it into a tree. So for example, this is saying A plus B, that's what it would look like in the tree. That's one individual node. And so this program that takes in X and Y and then adds X and Y and divides by 2 looks like this in a tree. It's not formatted very nicely. I could probably show you better in my code. Let's look at our tests. Yes, this is much better. So this is like a basic program that doesn't take in any arguments. It's just two numbers added together. And that in an abstract syntax tree looks like this. So we have an object and it says the operation is plus. And then we have two nodes, which are immediate values 21 and 21. And so this equation written as an abstract syntax tree looks like this. And then if you have nested equations, you just have more nested objects. So a program that takes in A and then adds 21 in A, very similar, but instead of an immediate value, you get an arg value. Let's find some more complex ones. Yeah, and then this one, which is X plus Y divided by 2, we have one node here, A, and inside of that A node is this inner equation X plus 2, and then the B node is just the 2 value. And then inside of here, we have that equation itself. So like any mathematical expression, we can represent as an abstract syntax tree. And it gets crazier. So if you have like 5 minus 5 minus 5 minus 5 minus 5, your tree starts to look like this. So this is what we did last time. We turned these equations into these abstract syntax trees. And the next step in compiling is to simplify the abstract syntax tree. So if you ever have a node in the abstract syntax tree that is two immediate values, meaning they're not variables, you can just add those two together and replace it with a single node. So that's what we're going to do in step 2. And we're going to do that right now. And last time, Doc gave us the code. I know I haven't looked at the chat in a few seconds, but trying to get through this. So we wrote token to AST. And to do that, we actually use the shunting yard algorithm, which I learned about. And I will say the reason I've been having so much trouble implementing this is at the first go at it, if you watch the first episode, I tried to do it without looking up any algorithm. I was like, I can figure this out. Let's just write some code. And there were so many edge cases that I didn't think about, and it got really messy. And then in the second episode, Doc introduced me to the shunting yard algorithm, which is something that is predefined and you can use to essentially build up an abstract syntax tree. So we implemented this algorithm. So Doc says, the drawing out of a picture of the syntax tree as an actual tree helps a lot with understanding tree operations for these passes. Oh, drawing out a picture. You know what? We have a camera set up, so I can totally draw. I can do it. But we implemented this algorithm, which actually deals with reverse Polish notation, which is really cool if you've never heard of this. So this is a way of writing equations that make it much easier for a computer to calculate those equations and operations. And it's known as postfix because all of the operands are at the end instead of infix, which is what we're used to in mathematics, is when the operations are on the inside. So part of shunting yard is to convert this expression that we get. Let's open that. Let's look at an example. So shunting yard is taking an expression like this, converting it to reverse Polish notation, but while you're converting it, you're also turning it into an abstract syntax tree that we can then later execute. And by doing all of this explanation, I'm really just procrastinating. I should try to write some code, but let me catch up on the chat. And let me know if you have any questions about all that stuff I just mentioned. Yeah, and Doc is mentioning I can keep reduce AST. Where did I have that written? This one. Yeah, so this code here was written by Doc. And we want to write it ourselves. But what he's saying is we can actually just keep this function. But I kind of want to write this myself too. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to comment this out. And we're going to attempt to deduce these functions as we try to solve pass 2. And we're going to leave this down here just in case we need it. But we're gonna try to do this. Unrelated fun fact. Reddit has OCR in place for search. Whoa. Hello, Oscar. Welcome. And thanks for the follow, Sleepy Asian Kid. Buzz says, you don't realize how much you've made me smile. Your streams, I don't have a clue what you're doing ever, but I'm so happy I found you. Well, thank you, Buzz. Thanks for hanging out with us. And thanks for the follow, Diddley. Can you dedicate my friend Nader? Nader, this one's for you. I don't know what's for you, but this is dedicated. Welcome, Kevin. Okay, Doc is saying reduce AST is like array.reduce, but it's for trees, arrays of lists. Okay. So let's look back at the problem description for pass 2. Here, okay. Excuse me. The second pass of the compiler will be called pass 2. This pass will take the output from pass 1, which is our abstract syntax tree, we have that working, and return a new abstract syntax tree with the same format, with all constant expressions reduced as much as possible. So if, for example, the function that takes in x and returns x plus 2 times 5, the result of pass 1 would be this. So this is what we get after the code we've written so far. We get that full abstract syntax tree, but we simplify it. So this node here that adds 2 immediate values, 2 and 5, that becomes a single node with an immediate value of 10. So that's what we have to do next, is to simplify this. We have to find all constant expressions and simplify it into a single expression. So this is going to be recursive. Yeah, this one's for you. I don't know what it's for, but it's for you. And thanks for the follow, Nemosri. This is my longer break timer. Can you believe we've been streaming for 47 minutes and I have not written any code? I think that's okay though. I wrote a lot of code this morning. We did a lot of explaining this morning too, huh? Okay, that makes sense, Doc. I think once I attempt to implement it, I will we'll look at your code to see how you did it. Alka says, I've been writing code the whole time. And while we're taking a break, just a big shout out to all my patrons and YouTube members. Let's take a quick pause to to acknowledge all of them. Wow. In a split second, you'll see them. And yeah, so actually I don't have any advertisements enabled on my YouTube channel. All of the support comes from viewers on as YouTube members and Patreon patrons, and hopefully soon Twitch subscribers. And I appreciate you all. These are all your names and how long you've been a supporter for. I very much appreciate you. Rabbitworks says, I had someone comment saying, an hour video and only 20 lines of code. People comment that on my videos all the time. and I've gotten over it. It's the nature of what I do. Can't code at 3 a.m. Yeah. Programa Dumorte says, I'm from Brazil and I really like your work. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I really am a professional procrastinator. Like, you would be amazed at how I procrastinated my way through university to get a computer science degree. Like, I'm really good at it. Thanks for the follow, Goro. Zeke has been doing discrete math all day. I commented and moved some code. Yeah, that counts, I guess. CJ is playing the break timer game to dodge. Let me turn off the patrons really quick. To dodge actually coding, reading chat, looking at documentation. You see, it's like subconscious too. I'm like not exactly doing it on purpose. All right, and this is what Alka has written in the time that we've just been talking. Wow. Are they expanding and contracting, or is it just rotating? Whoa! That's awesome. That's great. Rabbitworks missed the explanation. Can I give them a brief description? I can. Only because it's more procrastination. So we are building a small compiler that can take an expression that looks like this, a mathematical expression, and turn it into a runnable program. Now, this is different than just doing like an eval on the equation, because we're actually turning it into, eventually we'll turn it into what looks like machine code, and this machine code can then be run on a simulator that like simulates a machine that has these instructions to actually execute the program. So what we're doing is we're building a tiny compiler. So this is the same kind of process that would need to happen when you compile like a C++ program. It's probably, and it is much more complicated than what we're doing here, because we have very limited tokens and operations. But this is a similar process that a compiler would go through. So first we have the input. That's the source code that you write. That would be this. We then, in the first pass, output an abstract syntax tree, which is a tree that looks like this. So if you have an expression that looks like this, we generate basically just nested objects that represent all of the operations between the operands. I'll show you a smaller one, which might be a little bit easier to grasp. Yeah, so if you have a program that's b plus a, this is what the tree looks like. We have an operation which is plus. That's this. The a argument here is technically, or sorry, the b argument here, in which is the a operand, is technically the first argument in the argument list, and then the a operand is the 0th argument. So that turned into a tree looks like that. A simpler version, like 2 numbers added together, turned into a tree looks like that. So that's where we are so far. Our next step is to take that tree and simplify it. And I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to stop talking. We're just going to do it. Keep going. I have, where's my break timer? Yeah, there it is. 10 minutes till my next break. I'm lost. It's okay. I'm lost too. But here's what we do. So we get the abstract syntax tree. Let's actually write a simple test, right? That's the best way to go about this. Break it down one step at a time. We are going to write a very simple test that collapses the abstract syntax tree with just 2 immediate values. So we'll say it should simplify a tree with 2 immediate values. Okay, so for this test, I'm going to take, for example, like 21 plus 21. So I'm going to take this setup code. Well, I mean, technically I don't need the tree, but I do need this. So we will create an instance of the compiler, pass this equation into the compiler to get back the AST. And then we pass the AST, so we'll say compiler.pass2 will pass in the AST. And that should be a simplified object. And the simplified object here is, we have an operation which is immediate, and then we have a what we call as in which is going to be 42. I think I want, oh no, not to be, to equal. This is jest, actually. Cool, and the test is failing right now because my function's returning undefined. But basically, we need to take this tree right here that has 2 immediate values, and we need to compute it, or just simplify it, so that it becomes just a single node. First step. All right. How are we going to do that? So here we get the abstract syntax tree. We probably need to look at each node. And an abstract syntax tree is always going to have a root node. So the AST itself is going to have an A value and a B value, like that. And in this case, I mean, I kind of just want to see the AST visually while we're coding this as an example. So like this is the abstract syntax tree that we're simplifying. Oh yeah, and Doc says you can draw it out as an actual tree if you're lost. Yeah, so Doc, am I accurate in saying that this tree, which is adding 21 and 21, results in this abstract syntax tree, which is just the immediate value 42? Is that accurate? Should be, right? We're writing it using TDD. Yes, we're trying. So, like, this is the input. It has an operation and 2 operands. We can... Actually, yeah, we do have operations. So here, we created these last time. So these are just all the possible operands and then simple functions where you can pass in 2 values to compute them. So we will use that. And we'll look. Yeah, and the thing about this, and especially starting simple like this, is once we have a bigger, more nested tree, it should just be like some recursive calls, right? What plant is it? Oh, I don't know. I think the plant is a human who's growing into a great coder. Yeah, we're doing compilers. It's a simple compiler. Is this kind of how interpreted languages work? Even an interpreted language technically has a compilation step because... I mean, to be interpreted, it needs to be turned into some representation that can actually run in that interpreter. So, I would say so. Yes, sort of. Doc can tell you whether or not I'm wrong. And thanks for the follow, P-Boyle. No, we're using Jest. Jest is our test framework right now. Normal programmers have to look at digital docs. CJ has a human doc named Doc. You know, that is great, because his name is Doc, and I never thought about that. But Doc is always here to help. The plant is knowledge. Cultivate the seed within your own mind. There you go. What's the performance of writing a compiler in Java versus lower level languages? I feel like you wouldn't really ever do this. I mean, technically, TypeScript is written in JavaScript, I believe. Like the TypeScript compiler. So, yeah, you can do something like this. I do not have corona. There was something caught in my throat. I've been extremely careful and have only left the house a couple of times since quarantine began. Okay. So let's make a function that we can call that is like calculate node, or like perform operation. And that takes in the node. And then we can look at and say, if a dot operation is equal to immutable. So basically we're going to check if both of the, both A and B are immediate operations. We're just going to immediately call the add function. So if A dot operation is IMM and B dot operation is also IMM, then we can just say we want to actually return an object that is of type immediate. So the operation here is immediate. and in is equal to operations at node. Oh, sorry. This is, yeah, I have an error here. This is actually node.a.operation and node.b.operation. And so this becomes operations at node dot op invoked with node dot a dot in and node dot b dot in. So here's what we're doing. We take in a node. If the two leafs on the node, if the two operands a and b, wait, did I really get his $20 super chat? Are you messing with me? Oh, thank you. Thank you. And Rabbitworks, who says compile, compile, compile. Thank you so much, Rabbitworks. Much appreciated. Yeah, you don't have to, but you did, and I very much appreciate it. And this code's gonna work. I believe it. Turn my sound on. I thought I turned it on earlier. Give me a second. Give me a second. Did it actually show up on my screen? Like, did you hear it in the live stream? Yeah, I don't know, but thank you very much, Rabbitworks. Much appreciated. Yeah, no, that's a great point, Grenade Raven. One of the worst parts of COVID-19 is the stigma on coughing. Yeah, like if you've watched any streamer or anything and somebody coughs, like chat freaks out. They're like, Corona, Corona. But no, it's not. Let's see. Okay, that's the Kata link. Cool, 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 cool. Heart, 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 heart. The H1 tag always works. It's a good way to get my attention, for sure. Yes, yes. Okay, it did show up. Cool. Zeke says, I don't know a lot about JavaScript, but is the compiler that you're initiating part of a framework, or was that an object you built? That was an object we built. So the first pass of the compiler was to actually generate the abstract syntax tree. So this function we wrote, token to AST, takes in that that mathematical expression and turns it into a tree like this. So that was the first pass. Now the second pass is to simplify it, and I think we're good so far on built-in operations. So if the two nodes of an operation are immediate values, then we can just call our operations, and operations, definition, yeah, there. Operations is all possible operations as just little functions. So if the operation was plus, like it is in, where are we? In this scenario, the operation is plus. So we return a node where the operation is immediate, and then we take the addition function and pass in a.in, which is 21, and b.in, which is 21. And so this very simple test should actually, it should work. And I think we're on the way to writing reduce AST. But we'll just return perform operation with AST. And this essentially is just going to become a recursive function. I can see how this is going to work because I'll stop talking for a second. We should pause and take a stretch. And if you've been sitting at home for a while, feel free to take a stand. Yeah, evaluate the expression as far as possible, because some programs have input, and you can't evaluate things if you don't know what the input is yet. The input you get the input when you're actually executing the program. Hello, Barkoga, welcome. Hot Doggo, hello. Why is this complaining? Expected to return a value at the end of that. That's fine. So I think we should be good here. Let's run our tests. Hello, Gulam from Pakistan. There we go. Should simplify a tree with two immediate values. So we've done it. We've taken in an abstract syntax tree of two immediate values and simplified that. Great. Now what? Can we simplify I mean, technically a simplified, a tree that has an argument and an immediate value is technically already simplified. Well, thank you, Barkoga. I've been growing it, sort of growing it out. It's kind of batchy. I don't know, but I have nowhere to go, so just let it grow out. But yeah, I think another good place to start is, what if we're given an operation that has an argument a, and we try to add a to some value. We should actually get back the exact same abstract syntax tree because there's no way to simplify it. And actually, let me just copy and paste a tree that I have. Yeah, like a this. This is what I want. Okay, I think we're gonna go there next, Doc. I just want to make sure that I can handle if this. So I want to make sure that I can handle an immediate value and a non-immediate value, because technically this is simplified already, because you can't go any further than the argument itself. But then, yeah, I think that's a good next step. Can I simplify a deeper tree with an argument and two immediate values? Are you crazy? I just love the better Twitch TV emotes. Aren't they great? It's a good thing. So technically, compiler .pass2, given this AST, should return the exact same AST. Should return the same AST with an argument and immediate value. Testing, yes. How many years of experience do I have? I've been coding for like over 15 years. And hello, Vladimir. I don't think I said hello. Okay, so if we run our test right now, this should fail because we've only accounted for when there are two immediate values. So yeah, right now our function just returns undefined. So here we can say, and really it can be either A or B, but if one of the operands is immediate and the other one is an argument, then it can't be simplified anymore. And also, if both of the arguments, both of the operands are arguments, it also can't be simplified anymore. But I'm 14. Okay, so else, if we're gonna do this on a multi-line, so if node.a.operation is equal to, let's say it's in, what's the word for argument? Is it arg? Yeah, arg. So if a is an argument and b is an immediate value, oh, I can just have else return node? Arg. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the scenario where I wouldn't. The best thing about CJ streams is being able to choose the font you're typing in. Yeah, it's a feature. This is cool, yeah. Is that what you mean, Doc? Can we actually just return it? Let me think through this. I'm gonna write it out. I'm just gonna write it out, and then maybe we'll get rid of the code. But I'm gonna write it out. So if one of the argument, if one of the operands is an argument and the other one's immediate, or if the opposite, so if A is immediate and really we just return the original node? Okay. So all right. I'm going to go with what Doc says. So otherwise, we just say return the node. And we don't even need an else because it's an early return. So if we don't have two immediate values, it's already simplified. I think that's what we're saying here. But what we're missing is the recursive call, like the recursive, basically doing this on every single node. So this technically should pass for the very simple case that we passed in. That should at least pass. Comic Sans, nice. This isn't CM Griffin. What are you doing? Okay, so it passes. But the hard part is now what if you have a subtree? All right, see you later, Rabbit Works. Are you streaming on Twitch anytime soon? Like your band that you're a part of? We need recursion now. So let's go one step. Oh wait. We're gonna reuse this one. My favorite font. I should have a way for you to load a Google font. I don't think you can do that right now because it's technically just the font tag with any system fonts, but it'd be cool to load Google fonts. Okay, should simplify a tree with one argument and a nested immediate value operation. Where's the LED? Oh, we turned it off because nobody was using it, and it's even more distraction. Hashtag enable Google fonts. Make my own HTML tag or markdown? That'd be cool. We could do that because the markdown parsing library that I'm using can take in custom functions and stuff like that. Okay, but let's say we're going to do a times 21 plus 21. This should technically return a simplified abstract syntax tree where the operation is multiplication. A is technically, I mean, it is. What are the things I need? The A is an arg, and that's the 0th arg, and A needs to come right here. Like that. And then B is actually that, so it's a simplified 42. And so this should break, because right now we're not accounting for when we have an argument and a nested value. Wait, what? Was there something behind me? Was it bad? Oh, cool. Thanks, RevWorks. We'll see you around. That would be a stretch. I mean, we could do it. We can do anything, right? If we put our minds to it. Okay. So, now, the case where one of the operations is... Let's look at what the tree looked like before. Did I get rid of it here? I didn't. Okay. Oh, it's the parachute? Okay. Oh, yeah, IC Killer is mentioning View Mastery is free this week if anyone's interested. Yeah, View Mastery is really cool. If you are a visual learner, if seeing diagrams and different things like that helps you learn, View Mastery is great for that because they really break things down. And it's free right now, so check it out if you're trying to learn Vue. Okay, how do we do this? I need the full tree. So technically, what is this? So this is the subtree, but we have operation is multiplication, and then A is an immediate value. Not immediate, an argument. And then B is that subtree. Okay, so if we look at the two operands, if one of them is an operation, then we need to recursively call the function. So if node.a.operation is equal to plus, equal to any operation, really any operation. Do we have a list of yeah, we have operators. So if node else, actually we don't need an else. We'll do an else. Else if node.op is in our operators. So if this is plus node.a.op. I'm really digging this. Okay. I'm glad, because I'm very distracted and we're barely writing any code, but I think we're getting there. So if the operation, like in this case, we came across the operand b, and it's plus, we need to simplify the subtree. So that's a recursive call. So we could say, actually, I think I want to do this. It's not even an else if. It's just an if. So we'll, if that, then we can say node.a equals perform operation on node.a. So that's going to simplify it. And then we do a similar thing with b. And we're done. Do our test pass. Nope. Oh, we just have a syntax error. Let's comment this out. Wow. It's so easy. It's so easy, Doc. Why didn't you tell us it was this easy? We technically are reassigning a parameter, but that's okay. No param reassign. How can I enable that? Disable that. Oh, okay. Doc is saying, and I'll use this exact same recursion logic in pass 3, which is why it's nice to move to its own function, and that's how you get reduce AST. So no, not node. It's if node.op is an operator. Node equals perform operation on that node. Then actually we just return that. Like that. Ah! Did we get a stack maximum call stack size exceeded? Are you sure, Doc? Are you sure don't need? Are you sure we don't need to do this? Because this is like going down the 2 subtrees. And what I was thinking is like when we have this input, node.a is an argument, so it just remains the same. Node.b is technically addition, so this subtree gets simplified. Return a new node with... Oh, I see. Okay. That makes sense. Similar to how we're doing it here. Right? Apply perform operation to the left and right subtrees. I thought that's what I was doing right here. Can you give me an example equation where this will break? Because it's working for the simple one that we have. Actually, you know what would be fun to do? Pass in that 5 minus 5 minus 5 minus 5 minus 5 minus 5 equation. This one. This will be fun to do. I mean, technically, we should get back a single node that is negative 15. We'll figure out what the right number should be, but that's actually this one's going to simplify down to a single node. Well, I never check node.up itself at the moment, so it will break. Okay. Perform operation on both subtrees in the actual node too. Okay, we'll look at it. But can you think of an expression that will break it? Node.op. Okay, I see. Because it could be either immediate or argument. Right now, I'm just assuming that it is the others. Okay. but I'm still going to do this test. So it should handle multiple immediate values. And then we should expect that compiler with pass1, compiler.pass2 of that AST to equal. The operation is immediate, and the value is -15. Hello, Cold Sun. All right, so this might break it. I think it does. Yeah, so this is the case. This broke it right here because I think the top level operation was subtraction. I believe. So let's figure this out. Because if we look at what that tree of fives looks like, the top level is subtraction, op.subtraction, and that actually needs to be performed, and we're never performing that. So, really, I actually should have checked if operation, well, technically, if both of these are immediate values, then the operation should technically be in operators. But okay, we're not checking that though. But if this given node op is an operator, so that's like subtraction at the top of the tree, then we need to return return a new node with A and B. But what's the operation of that new node? Yeah, so I should check at the very start if it is an operator. And you think this should be wrapped in that? So if node.op is an actual operation, and if both of them are immediate values, then we do what we need to do. Else, let's get rid of that. We need to check, I guess we need to check A and B. So if node dot A dot operation is an operator? Operator immediate, and n is the value of the operation. I'm confused. I'm very confused. I am live again. Hello, Max. And thanks for the follow, Greater Toaster. Yeah, so I need to perform operation on node of A and node of B. And then we just return the node. Just like this. But do we reassign it? Do we say node of A? I don't think that's it, but I'll figure it out. All right, and we can use that example case next. I kind of like writing the base case and then the generic recursion logic. So what is the base case in this example? The base case is if it can't be reduced anymore. So this is what I was about to write out all those if statements earlier of like if one is immediate and one is an argument. That's kind of the base case because you can't really simplify anymore. But yeah, I am live again. Could be done with postfix expression evaluation using a stack. So that's actually what we did. No, we didn't do. Yes, we did that. So in the second episode, we converted the operation to an abstract syntax tree using the shunting yard algorithm, which turns it into postfix while it turns it into an abstract syntax tree, kind of all in one go. So that is what we did last time. So there's the operation immediate and in the value of the operation. Yeah, that's what I was doing here, though. Because that actually allows us to calculate if we have two immediate values. Oh, wait, ignore me. When is an operation not one of your operators? It's a good question, but it's when it's either an argument or an immediate value. So if we have a program like this, technically x and y are inputs to the program. They're not they're arguments. They're not operations. So the operation here is called argument because when we actually write the code that will execute this program, this tells us that we should read in the value of that argument at the given index. So arg is another kind of operation, and then immediate is another kind of operation. When immediate is when it's just a single value, it's not something with an two operands. So the plus, minus, subtraction, addition, those are operators. Arg and im, or immutable, no, immediate, are the ones that we don't want to do this for. Yeah. And hello, Mohammed. Mohanand. Sorry, I almost said Mohammed. In is operations. Oh. Oh. Operations at node of op. Form operation of node of B of hit. Okay, but that's the two other cases, right? Right? I couldn't imagine having to do this for an interview. I could see it though. I could see some companies asking for it. So I think we need the other cases. So if node dot well, I really don't even need to check. Do I need to even check if they're both immediate values? I need to recurse. And hello, the real Pygon. It's been a while. Can you just look if either is an arg and then recurse both, otherwise return the node? That's what I thought I did before, but apparently not. Oh, okay. So if it's an operation like plus, minus, subtraction, or addition, if they're both immediate values, you're good to go. If they're not, and actually, I guess we should do this beforehand. So if node.a.op is not equal to immediate, then we'll say node.a equals perform operation of node, like that. And then similarly, we do it with B. And not of B, it's node of B and node of A. And then after these two recurse, both of them should be immediate values at that point because it goes all the way down. And then we actually do the operation. But if we were left over with like an argument, it would skip this and just return the node. I think that's what we want. Let me just run my tests. Are we going to get a Stack Overflow? Cannot read property op of undefined. What am I doing wrong? Node. Wait. If a.op is not immediate and b.op is not immediate, do the thing. At this point, we're checking if they're immediate. Maybe, do I need to check afterwards? I don't know. John says, good evening. I've started understanding matrices in Java. But one of the labs is to find an element of a matrix, then sum the elements around the element in the matrix. Well, that sounds like a fun problem. But basically, you're given like a specific location, and then you have to look at all the neighbors to sum them. Sounds fun. What I thought was pretty much recursion, which it was what we were trying to do here already. Okay. I did something extremely similar for my data structures course. Well, that's cool. Recurse, get the result, then check if it's in immediate. Okay. See you later, Imphy. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, 2 streams in one day. If there is at only one immediate value, we check. I'm thinking... yeah, like either or. And thanks for the follow, Hoku. Makes sense, if and only if. I also need a return node in the outer statement. I guess that's why it's breaking as well. Just works. Yeah, just works. But why does it work? Okay, if... yeah, because if the operator of this given node is not something like add, subtract, multiply, then we can't really simplify it anymore because it's either immediate or an argument, so we just return the node. If it is, then we need to simplify both sides of the tree, and if we have 2 immediate values, we can just perform the operation, and then we return the node as well. Great. And I mean, do I need this inside? Can I actually just do it once? Right? Wouldn't that work? Same thing? Yeah? Does that make sense? Is node.a a child node? Yes. So if we can look at like our abstract syntax tree would look like this. Node.a could potentially be a nested tree like that. And then that node has a node.a. Oh, okay. Wouldn't the base case come after the recursion, not after? What's up, Perception? Welcome. I might not need the return in the estate. I'm thinking I don't. If we try to like logic through this, it's going to make it here in both cases. So there's no need to do an early return. I think we're good. Doc, can you send me that example equation one more time? And we'll pass it through this and make sure that it does it right. But I think we've done it. I think we've simplified both sides of the tree. Would you look at that? Great work, Majestic Eye. Is that just a person? A man? All right, we're going to disable next line here. Okay. All right, one more test. If you do exclamation mark break, you can get a link to my break timer, but I have it set up for a 10-second micro break every 15 minutes. It should solve Doc's equation, or should simplify. An extended version of me. Oh, thanks, Majestic Eye. So we create a compiler. And then we grab the AST, which is compiler.pass1. And then we'll have to write this out in the right way, but... So we have a program with an input of x that has that equation. And then we should expect that compiler dot pass2 of that tree should equal this in AST form. So we have the operation multiplication. We have A, which is an operation of arg and a value of 0. B itself is a tree with an operation of multiplication. And it has two operands, A, which is an argument 0, so it's technically the same one. And then B, which is an immediate value of 25. 25, like so. That's what we should get back. And hello, Merchant. Can I create the AST of the second one with your pass one as well? I could. Yeah, you're totally right. Instead of typing it out by hand like this, you're totally right. I could have passed in the simplified expression and then just make sure that it equals that. But let's do this, and then we'll do that as well. And thanks for the follow, CS Orlandi. And in fact, it should now solve any basic math equation too. I think, yeah, we've already done that. We were able to subtract, what was it, like 5 5s? Yeah, we calculated this to be 15. Just pass one, what you expect maybe? Yeah. Yeah, I know, Seneca. We have some pretty good mods here, and most of the people behave. And we have only had a couple of incidents, and I appreciate your concern. But honestly, talking about it like that will bring the trolls in and make them want to make things bad. One thing that we need to do is make it so that you can't send an image unless you have been in the chat for a while or you're like a trusted user. But yeah, I totally understand. Any basic math expression with variables. Oh, I don't think we can't handle variables yet. We need pass 3 to be able to handle variables. All right. Does it work? It works. Wow. Okay. And to like test our test, we should also be able to say expect compiler dot pass 2 of the AST to equal compiler dot pass 1. Oh, hello, C#. Welcome. Yeah, so C# Fritz is the organizer of the live coding team, which I am now a part of, and very happy to be a part of that. We are currently working on a tiny 3-pass compiler. We're taking mathematical expressions like this. Last time we turned them into abstract syntax trees. This time we are simplifying those abstract syntax trees, and I think we've got it working. The next step is to convert it into a machine code type of thing. So that's the thing. Hey, no worries, Seneca. It's a valid concern, and I actually need to spend the time making sure I implement those things in my overlay. And really, we could even use like the Twitch point systems, which I don't have enabled yet, for allowing users to post images and stuff like that. But yeah. Okay, so pass 1 should be equal to the tree, this. So the simplified tree of this expression should be equal to the same tree that's generated when you already pass in a simplified expression. We should get a passing test here. Use a stack. It works. All right, I think we're good on pass 2. And then the last and final pass is pass 3, which is where we turn this abstract syntax tree into assembly instructions. So here we go. And hello, Vishnu. We did use a stack, so this code is on GitHub. If you look at the Coding Garden repo, github.com/codinggarden/codekatas, I believe it was episode, where are we at? 43? I understand absolutely nothing. That's okay. This is as hard as it gets on Code Wars. So that's totally fine if you understand nothing. Oh no, it was episode 42. Yeah, so if you look on GitHub right now, episode 42, that's when we implemented the abstract syntax tree thing. And you can see that we're implementing the shunting yard algorithm, which takes a, a postfix expression, which is how we write math and how we learn to write math like this. Sorry, an infix. This is infix. It takes an expression like this and turns it into postfix. So we did write that. 42, yeah. All right, Doc says, for pass 3, it might be helpful for people following along to draw a picture of the virtual CPU with the stack and how the instructions operate. Then you can figure out how to transform the syntax trees into instructions. I guess I'll try to do that because I really have no idea how we're going to do it. So drawing might help. It might also just be a procrastination tool for me. And then completely change shunting yard pretty much into the shift reduce algorithm by building the AST directly. Right, but that was a suggestion from Doc. It's really cool. The really cool concepts in general, though, if you've never heard of these things, because like this idea of reverse Polish notation, it's a computer can calculate mathematical equations much easier when something is written in postfix versus when it's written in infix. If you check out Computer File on YouTube, they have a really good video on explaining reverse Polish notation and why computers like it. Computer File, RPN. This one. It's a good watch. And thanks for the follow, Botel Hocode. Okay, on to pass 3. So, in the third pass of the compiler, we take the abstract syntax tree and return an array of strings. So we're returning an assembly type code. Each string is an assembly directive. You are working on a small processor with 2 registers, R0 and R1, a stack, and an array of input arguments. The result of a function is expected to be in register 0. The processor supports the following instructions. So IM in, load the constant value in into register 0. ARN, load the nth input argument into register 0. SW, swap register 0 and register 1. So this is interesting. So we are writing drawing time. Yeah, I'm going to try to. We're writing code that runs on a computer that has just 2 places in memory, right? That's what we mean by 2 registers. So this is a small processor with literally 2 places to store numbers in memory. That's all it has. Is that accurate, Doc? Is that what this is telling us? We're basically working with a computer that only has 2 places in memory. Push R0 onto the stack. PO is pop the value off the stack. AD is add R1 to R0. Then you have subtract, multiply, and divide. Okay. I should write it in Haskell. The thing is, you actually can on Code Wars. Yeah, Haskell is an option. I don't know much about Haskell, though. So one possible return value from pass 3, given this abstract syntax tree, is we have the immediate value 10 loaded into register 0. So that is this subtree. We then swap R0 and R1. And then we load the argument 0 into the 0th register. Oh, I see. So that's why we have to use swap, because we can't load anything directly into R1. Draw a picture. Okay, I'm going to try to draw a picture. But Doc says it has 2 registers, but also a stack, which is unlimited memory. Okay. But, oh, nice Jedi, Jedi sword, lightsaber. So, yeah, load the constant value into R0. We only have 2 working places in memory, which is why we load this in, and then we swap it, which takes it from R0 and puts it into R1. So let's draw a picture. Gotta get the paper out. I might actually need to go grab some paper. Unhot says, I think this may be interesting to you. Got a notebook. And I have a lot of pencils, actually. Hopefully this will be visible on screen. Let me get it going. This is giving me flashback from my assembly class. Yes. Composition. Okay, but what are we drawing exactly? I guess we draw like the computer's registers. Because we have like R1. No, sorry, let's say R0 and R1. Like so. And these can hold values. And then we have an unlimited stack, which we can push and pop things into. And thanks for the follow, Floorbar. Take a minute to look at this game. It's 100% relevant to this discussion. All right, I'll take a look. Oh, build circuits, write code, Shenzhen IO. I've seen people playing this on stream. It's pretty cool. Yeah, super cool. Oh, and that actually reminds me of low-level JavaScript on YouTube. If you haven't heard of him, he just came out with a video on implementing logic gates in JavaScript. It's really cool. He has a lot of really cool videos on his digital circuit simulator in JavaScript. Check that out. But he has a lot of other cool videos where he does crazy things with JavaScript that you would never expect someone to do with a language like JavaScript. Well, that's funny. And thanks for the, I think I said thanks for the follow, Floorbar, but thank you. All right, see you later, Zeke. Thanks for hanging out. All right, Doc, help me out on this. What do we actually draw? Draw a picture of the virtual CPU with stack and how the instructions operate. Then you can figure out how to transform the syntax trees into instructions. Okay. So should I actually draw out the tree? Like in this example here? And I guess the thing is, well, there's my longer break timer. Let's take a quick stretch. It seems like this code that got generated here, we will have very similar code for each of the operations that needs to happen. Like basically each of the subtrees between two operands. We're gonna have very similar instructions that reads in one of the immediate values to a register, potentially reads in input or reads in another immediate value, and then performs an operation on the two. I think we'll need to do that. All right, I'm gonna think on this. I'm gonna restart my break timer, but I'm just gonna make sure I see all the latest chats. Draw the tree on paper. Okay, I can do that. Okay. One case for being somewhere inside of a big tree and figuring out the tricky recursive case. Okay. John says, I have every single Zachtronic game, and I had the most trouble with Shenzhen. I don't think it's a total representation of assembly. I also want to be a bot. Hello, David. All right, we are going to take a 5-minute break while I ponder this. and maybe draw some trees while we're taking a break. I'll make this visible. Where's my break timer? There it is. Thank you, Siddhartha. Much appreciated. And also, while we're taking this break, shout out to all of my patrons and members. I very much appreciate you. And, well, here they are. They'll come up on the screen. Like 10? I mean, this is technically a tree. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a very simple tree. It's just the addition operator with two operands, arg0 and 10. Copying homework 10 minutes before class. The thing is, I don't have anything to copy. Patrons are gone. Cool. I am going to take a quick, let's call it 4-minute break away from screen. But when I come back, we're going to make this happen. And actually, I'm going to set up a screen for that because I do have that new loading screen. So give me just a second. But Doc says, Hot Doggo says, go to Stack Overflow. Also, the other half of visualizing this, what you're doing, is transforming an expression tree into a tree of sequences of instructions, then collapsing that tree into a single sequence of instructions. Okay. And that's kind of what I'm imagining. I don't know if I'm thinking about it in the right way, but like the fact that this assembly code represents this tree, we're going to have similar assembly code for every tree, every little subtree in our big abstract syntax tree, with the addition of using the stack with push and pop to keep track of those calculated values, I believe. So when I encounter an op with A and B are the sequence of instructions that when executed leave the result in R. Yeah, leave the result in register 0, for sure. Okay, let me set up this screen. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. And then I'm going to hopefully solve this. Maybe there'll be another episode. A Tiny 3-Pass Compiler Part 5. Let's see. Hello, Brian. I'm actually just about to take a break, but I will be back in roughly 4 minutes. See you soon. Hello, friends. I'm back. And I'm still just as unprepared as I was before, but that's okay. Robinson is asking what happened in my Hello Friends project. We only got like 5 submissions, so I didn't think it would be really worth it turning into a video. But I may try soliciting submissions again. So if you're not familiar with that, at the beginning of every video and every stream, I always say "Hello, friends." So I thought it'd be a cool idea if we could get clips or videos of all the people in the community also saying "Hello, friends," and then we could edit it into a cool like intro montage. But like I said, I only got like 5 submissions, so I have no idea what's going on. That's okay. You have found yourself in one of the more complex coding garden streams. Most of the time, we're doing much simpler things that are easier to explain, but this is a very hard problem that we're attempting to solve today. So yeah, and hello Ziggy, hello Flu, I'm back. You are, I guess you're late. I've been streaming for how long? Close to 2 hours. And we're in the thick of it. We're about to implement converting an abstract syntax tree into assembly language. And hello, Compa. Oh, I think you asked about the tiny 3-pass compiler earlier, Compa. That's what we're working on. Any book recommendations aside from Clean Code, Cleaner Code? Have you heard of or read The Pragmatic Programmer? It's not about necessarily programming itself, but it's about being a craftsman of software engineering and programming. Okay. What I would like to do... Cool, that's good to hear. Oh, that's not a bad idea. And 25 versions of me saying hello, friends. The thing is, yeah, I could take a clip from every single stream that I've ever done saying hello, friends. What do I think of semantic search? Is it hard to implement? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but this could be like you're extracting meaning from the search terms or meaning of the things around the search term. Yeah, I've never really done anything like that. Okay. What I would like to see, though, is a more complex tree with a more complex assembly language, because this gives us like almost like the simplest case where we only have 2 nodes and we have this, but we don't see an example of using push or pop. And I don't know when we would use those. The premise of the problem. We are given some program, which is like a mathematical expression that might look like this. We then have to turn it into an abstract syntax tree, which is a representation of the equation itself in terms of operations and operands. What we just implemented today was a simplification of that tree. So when you turn this into a tree, if there are nested additions of 2 values, that's something that can be simplified. So what we just implemented was the simplification. So you could take an operation like multiply 2 and 5, and that part of the tree gets simplified to 10. So now we're here. And now we need to take this and convert it into assembly. Oh, Ramen said, it took my entire bravery to fill out that Hello Friends video. No worries. Like, I'm definitely going to use them. I just have to figure out when. But I think it's good to set a target. I like that idea of just saying, hey, I need 30 submissions. We have 20 so far. You should be the next one. And I probably have like 5 or 6 times the number of subscribers as I did whenever I started that. So I'm sure there are quite a few people that would be interested in doing it. Using push and pop is up to you. And maybe you don't need to use all the instructions. But you do, actually. Kappa. Consider the case of 2 immediates and a basic operator. Yeah, so that would actually be immediate, some immediate value, swap, immediate, some immediate value, and then operation. So yeah, I could traverse the tree and each thing. Well, actually, we don't have to worry about two immediates. Well, maybe we do as we're reducing it, but and hello, Lim. We do have to worry about an argument and an immediate. Okay, let's just get this. Let's get this very simple tree working. This one here. We're gonna try to. We're gonna write a unit test that gets this one. Gets this one working, and then we'll go from there. So, it should generate assembly for, so Doc says, I'd start off like before with simple programs, a simple immediate node and a single arc node. Yeah, so should generate assembly for one immediate value and one argument. Array of strings. Should generate an array of strings. So we create our compiler. And then we say the AST is equal to a compiler.pass2 of compiler.pass1 of this. So this should give us back our simplified abstract syntax tree. Oh wait, not x plus y divided by 2. What are you talking about? No. That's just this, x plus 2 times 5. That's what we're going to simplify. Like that. Because ultimately that becomes this. So we should expect that compiler dot pass 3 with that tree to equal that array of assembly instructions. This. I think this is just the coolest thing ever. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're having fun on Hot. Because this is hard. It's hard to think about. No, not that. But let's put this on multiple lines. Cool. So right now we have a failing test. Where are we at? Here. Well, that's just one possible sequence. The test should use simulate, run the program, and check that the answer is correct rather than comparing instructions. I see. Because technically, as long as the result of all of the instructions gives us back the same result, then it still works. Because it's like there's multiple ways to write a program. Right? So we should use this simulate function. Do we have this anywhere? We do. So given, okay. Yeah, so we have that simulate function, which was provided for us. So technically, we should get back, so the assembly is equal to compiler dot pass 3 with all that stuff. And we should expect the simulate with assembly, and then the arguments, let's say when x is the value 1, we should get back 1 plus 10 is 11. Like that. Yeah, in the general case, analyzing correctness by inspecting instructions is trying to solve the halting problem. Yeah, that's not going to work because right now our pass-3 returns undefined. So, I mean, I think the way I'm going to try to implement this pass-3 right now is basically given that we know that we're only going to have an argument and an immediate. These are the types of instructions that we would need to generate. So that's what we're shooting for. So we could have like our instructions, which is an empty array, and then notice that the operator, the thing that we're performing, is at the end of the array. So we could technically push that in first. So we could say like instructions dot push ast dot op, but we need to take the operation, which is like a plus, a minus, a multiplication, or a division, and we need to turn that into an assembly language. So let's create a map for that. For now, I'm just going to do it in line. And thanks for the follow, Chiron. So plus is the operation add. Let's call it operation instructions. This makes my brain happy. That's good to hear, this one, SU is, is subtract. Let's take a quick stretch. And I don't think a drawing is going to help me, honestly. So we're going to put that up, at least for now. We might come back to it. I've been coding since I was like 12 years old. I've been coding for a very long time. Professionally, like a little over 10 years. Multiplication is mu. Division is di. Okay, so those are our operation instructions. And given some node, we need to perform this calculation. So, really? We need like a function that's like convert operation? A symbol operation? Would that be the right term for it? But I think we'll call it convert operation. So this takes in a node. And then we have some instructions like this. So we would push the operation into the end of the array. So we'd say operating instructions at the given operation. In this case is going to be, what is our test? Addition. So that goes to the end of the array. And then we look at the two nodes. So we have, and this should be node. So we have node.a and node.b. We really need to check on both of them. Assembling is actually converting strings like M10 into raw machine code. Okay, so we're not technically assembling. We're not doing that here. And Doc says, by the way, you're generating is a program, a sequence of instructions that meets an execution contract. In this case, leave the result in R0. Oh, it starts simpler with the code 5 and X, and make sure that that is the result. Okay, well, I think we'll come back to this just because I've already started coding. But those are good tests to do next. Just like, given a very simple equation that has some return value, a simple return value, will our thing give us back that simple return value? So we'll address that next. And hello, Kunal. To add to this stage is called code generation. Generate code. Okay. We'll say if node.a dot op, if it is an immediate, and actually, so the equation we were working with, I mean, ultimately this gets simplified to 10, so it's x plus 10, and here we have x plus 10. So we're looking at the argument 0 first. And so what I'm thinking is I think we do a shift. There's a shift, not remove it, so an unshift. because that's going to put it at the beginning of the array. So that's going to put like AD at the beginning of the array. And then if the operation is arg, then we are going to unshift AR with the memory location. And the memory location is node.a.in. So that's going to put this. Then we shift SW, unshift, because we need to do a swap. And then here we do an immediate. So if node.b.operation is immediate, then we do im with the actual value. Now, obviously, this only accounts for if A is an argument and B is an immediate value. But we could generalize this so that it works for either. Can't I just do string addition to the front and to the end? Yes, but ultimately we need to end up with an array. So that's why I'm just using an array to put each of the operations into it. And so technically, if I just return generate code with the AST that we got, this should pass the one simple test that we wrote. But there are more cases, right? What if A is an immediate and B is an argument? But this should at least pass that. It fails. Cannot read property for each of undefined. Pass 3. Let's just log the assembly. And Doc is saying, the problem you're trying to solve, you have a node undefined. What? Okay, look inside. You have a node with operation A and B, where A and B are programs that fulfill the execution contract themselves. When run, they compute those and store them in R0, register 0. So what does the combined program look like? It's going to be something A, something B, something. Yeah, so basically each little subtree is its own execution contract that stores the result in register 0. Okay. Why is it undefined? Compiler.pass3. Oh, we're not actually returning the instructions. Return instructions. That's not good. Oh, not OPP, OP. There we go. So, now if we try to simulate it, I think we should be on the right track. Expected 11, received 1. Am I doing this right? It's technically, if I pass in 1 as the argument here, 1 plus 2 times 5 should give us back 11. But our runner is actually giving us back 1. Is that how simulate works? Takes in the assembly, takes in the args. Why are we getting back 1? So this simulate function was provided to us. Yeah, so args is just a plain array without name. So that's what I thought we were doing here. If we look at simulate, I don't think I changed anything. I mean, like, none of that's used. Simulate takes in the assembly and the args, and then does the stuff. Yeah, let's print out the past. Well, yeah, I actually just did print them out. I guess let's double check. And that's one thing we didn't test to see that. Oh, I see. Immediate of 0, and that should actually be immediate of 10. So where did that come from? Oh, node.a should have been node.b because I hard coded it. Thanks for asking me to do that. Yeah, because the immediate value was 0, and technically 0 plus 1, which is the argument at 0, is 1. This should do it. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, nice. All right, so we've got that basic thing working. Let's work on something simpler, which is what Doc was suggesting earlier. Yeah, nice work, everyone. So if we have a simple program like this, it should just return that value. So let's do it. It should we need to give a better name to this test. We are so close. We shall slay the beast. Thank you for your encouragement, Unhot. We're gonna get through this. It should simulate. For one, yeah, so there's that. So close, okay. It should simulate for one immediate value. So this is an even simpler test case, which we probably should have done beforehand. Where we have our compiler. And that's our equation, but we basically want to do this. So this is a very simple program that takes in no input, and then it just basically like a function that returns 5. And so if we simulate this with no input, we should get back 5. Let's see what happens. Fabi says, I really enjoy your streams. I feel like developer videos and streams are often quite robotic, but you add some emotion and personality. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but do you have any hobbies outside programming or things you enjoy doing? Well, thank you very much, Fabi. I try. I think the thing about what I'm doing here is I'm just here. I'm not trying to pretend to be anything, pretend to know things I don't know. This is just me. Just me talking to you. So I'm glad that it comes across as entertaining and with emotion and personality. I like coding a lot. I code in my spare time, but I also I like to play music sometimes. I'm a bit of a musician, and I like to skateboard sometimes too. Though I haven't done either of those things recently. Mainly just working and coding. What else? That's about it. I like board games. I do like board games. Can you define what immediates are? Are those values? Yes. So like in a mathematical expression, if you have something like, let's see an example. Like this. So in a math expression, 5 minus 5, 5 is technically an immediate value because it's just a number value. Things can get more complex though because you can have inputs to your function. So in this case, x is like an argument to the function, and that is not an immediate value because we need to look it up in the argument list when the program is executed. So these are argument values and these are immediate values. Please define compile. Okay. I will do that. Actually, is that in here anywhere? No, okay, I'm just gonna do that really quick. Compile. That takes in the, what does it take in? The program. Return. This dot pass 1 with the program. Invoked this dot pass 2. And this dot pass 3 with the output of that. Why is this complaining? Oh, does it already exist? Oh yeah, it already exists. We can just call compile in our tests. Right now I'm like manually invoking all of the functions. Let's fix that. Our test should just call compile. Right here. Compiler.compile. I think that's right. Compile? Compile. Oh, thank you, Isaac. Much appreciated. Would I consider katas like this more difficult than your daily work at your job? Absolutely. I never. I am. My job title is chief full stack engineer, and so I do a lot of architecture. I do a lot of front end development, back end development, database design, communicating like the complexities of requirements to the client based on like what they want and stuff like that. I never in my life for my job have had to code something like this. So yes, this is much more difficult. And actually that's why it's fun to me, because I don't get to do this kind of stuff on a daily basis. Does the compiler handle more than 2 variables? Yep. So we wrote a very general input function that can take any number of arguments and compile that program. So you could have like X, Y, Z. Oof. Let's take a quick stretch. Off-topic question. What is your keyboard and what are the switches? Because I love their sounds. And hello, Rima. Oh, it's Sheafman. Sheafman. It is a cheap Amazon mechanical keyboard. If you do ! keyboard, you can get a link to it. And I believe it has brown switches? I actually don't know. I'm not that much into mechanical keyboards, but it works for me. And thanks for the follow, Dungeon Master. Gotcha. So essentially, based on what I've explained earlier, you're creating a syntax tree that will evaluate the given expression. So, sort of. So we're creating the syntax tree. We then simplified the syntax tree, and now we're taking that syntax tree and turning it into assembly instructions. And those assembly instructions can then be run on this simulator. So this function called simulate, it was given to us, but this is kind of like our computer. It's the computer that understands our machine code that we're generating. This. So technically, we're taking that equation, which is technically our program, turning it into this, and then turning it into this, and then we have a way of executing it using these instructions. It's a very roundabout way to do like evaluation of mathematical equations, because you could do it like in a more functional style, or even just like use eval. But this method that we're doing could absolutely be adjusted and used to compile real programs with like real grammar and syntax. Basically, we have a programming language that only has math in it, and we're writing the compiler for that. I'm coding in JavaScript, and this is we are coding a compiler. Yeah, I struggle to get a handle of how hard software dev is as a career change, so thanks for the input. Yeah, I mean, for the majority of the time, as a software engineer, you're really just, you're using existing libraries, you're using existing frameworks, and you're kind of just gluing things together. That's really the nature of modern software development. You're writing the glue code, which does not involve implementing things from complete and total scratch. Do I have any recommendations about software architecture? I don't. Everything I learned, I kind of learned on the job. But I should look into that. What I love most, front end or back end? I love them both equally. Hello, Dylan. In my opinion, real compilers are among the hardest and most complex code bases in existence. In fact, the best stress test for compilers is seeing if it can compile a compiler or even compile itself. Nice. It's actually blue, but they don't sound like blue. Okay, yeah, blue switches. Cool. All right, where were we? We were right here. We have a very simple... Oh yeah, no worries, Rima. We have a very simple expression, this, just the value 5, and can our compiler generate the right assembly code? The thing is, the assembly, I want to do this. Let's expect that assembly to equal, this is just an array with an immediate value of 5. Like that. That's really all this needs to generate, I believe. We can double check the definition here. But yeah, that's all this program should generate, because it's given the value 5 and it needs to put that value 5 into register 0. And thanks for the follow, xcorex. Off topic, are you having a team of developers, or am I just the whole IT department? There are a few other developers at my company. Some are dedicated mobile development. Some do like full stack, like I do as well. And it just varies by project. Right now, I'm actually I was on a project where I was doing most everything, front end and back end. But I'm transitioning onto a project where I'm going to have a team of developers working. I'll be doing a lot of back end and some front end, and then the other person will be doing a lot of front end. So it really varies by project. When you get to glue, to glue B, you feel like a genius. When you get A to glue to B, you feel like a genius, even though all the big brain bits are in the library. That's true, yeah. So we're talking about writing glue code. Yeah, like it doesn't take away from the fact that the programs that we're writing are legitimate and doing good, cool things. It's just the fact that we don't have to write a lot of low-level code or write everything from scratch, because a lot of things exist, which is a good thing. And thumbs up, xcore. Do you have any recommendations on how I can get a promotion? I don't really, I don't know. I'm not good at that kind of thing. But I will say this, the best way to get a promotion is to get a new job. Because you can, for one, and start looking for a job, because you could potentially leverage the offer at a new job with your existing company to just say like, hey, I got an offer here. I wanted to tell you first. If you can do better, I'll stick around. But if not, I'm going to go off to this company. That's how I've heard some people do it before. It may not be the best way, but that is one way. But there have been some studies like the way to actually increase your pay is to move to a different company. That said, if you're a junior dev and you don't have that much experience, that can be a little bit harder. But yeah, I don't really know. Technically, all the compiler is obligated to generate is any code that leaves 5 and register 0. That's all it needs to do. And no worries, Frankie. Yeah, immediate 42, immediate 5. Yeah. Not right now. Yeah, so right now there are probably a third of the viewers that we usually have in the mornings, and in the mornings, yeah, there's a lot of chats. So. Oh, nice, Shakino. Glad to hear it. Yeah, that sticker, well, I'm not going to pick up my laptop because my HDMI could fall out, but I have that sticker here. Another one. Mr. Panda Gaming says, this is making me wish I paid attention in my assembly class in college. I remember a little bit of that. I took a programming languages class in college. I wish I could do that. Stuck in a contract and I can't afford to break. Don't like the job, but I got to stick it out for a while. Yeah. Writing programs is like building a house. Yeah, definitely. Hello, Nero. Welcome. What can I do to improve the logic for my programs for web coding? Can I solve some math problems by coding? Is it a good way? I would say not necessarily math problems, but general problems that need to be broken down to be solved, which are a lot of Code Wars problems. Something like this. No, nothing like this. But other programs, like you can find like 6Q or 7Q Code Wars problems. The more of those that you do, the better you get at first understanding a problem statement and then breaking it down into smaller sub-problems that you then solve yourself. And that overall allows you to get better at programming in general. And hello, Neon. Welcome. Make the chat delay dynamic. I don't know if I could do that. I don't build the house at my job. I kind of paint the third coat of paint on the walls. I mean, that's most software development. It really is. How to integrate Java with JavaScript with Java. I've never done that before. But here we are. Let's implement this. So we have a node, and it actually only has the operation really, we want to do this. So if the operation of the node is an instruction, then we do this business with all of its nodes itself. Else, if it's not add, subtract, multiply, or divide, if it is immediate, then we just do this node.in. So if node.op is equal to im, we do that. Or im. I should probably put that in a constant. Put the value there. Else, if it is an arg, then we can do this ar with node.in. Okay, this should solve the simple case where we just have an input that's a number. Yep, and then this should also solve the case where we have an input that's just a value. So like if we do this for one arg, so if we have like x and then we need to just return x, then technically what gets generated is arg of 0, and if we pass in 42, we should get back 42, like that. Yes, and yeah, Mr. Panda Gaming, I think we have to make this recursive at this point. Like, I'm kind of like writing out all this branching logic, but really what we're doing right here should have potentially been a recursive call that got called right here. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure things out because I'm really lost, honestly. And thanks for the follow, Fatal Motion. No, my break is 10 seconds every 15 minutes. Yeah, and it's not a Pomodoro. This is the break timer is more about preventing repetitive strain injuries, like getting wrist pain and things like that. So just taking your hands off the keyboard for 10 seconds helps with that. Doc keeps saying this. I'm using the Jest testing library. Node operation of A and B becomes something, A something, B something. Okay. If you do exclamation mark break, you can get a link to my my break timer. Recursive descent. Probably, but I don't really know what that means. Okay, what are some other test cases though? I think at this point we have like the basic input output. We have a basic like something that is just a simple tree. But if we have lots of nested nodes, that's when this becomes a little more difficult, and that's when we need the actual recursion. Hello, Depopom, welcome. So something like this. X plus Y is probably the simplest case. I don't think so, because to me that actually just becomes this, like, else if node.b.op is equal to arg, and we do this with b. So like we handle the two cases. And that's both sides of the tree, and then the last else statement is if it's just an entire operation, then we do the recursive call. So if node.a.op is immediate, then it becomes, oh, not that. Immediate of node.a.in. Yeah, back at it. I have not been streaming all day. I've been streaming for about 2.5 hours, but I was streaming this morning. Um, so this handles the case where you have either an argument and an immediate value, or an immediate value and an argument, or even two arguments. And so technically, this will work with that equation. Okay, fine. X, y, and z. X plus y plus z. That's when we need the recursive call. But the code that I just wrote should work for x plus y here. It should simulate for two args. So, similar idea. We set up the compiler. We pass in this. And if we pass in... Whoa. Okay. It's super weird. Every time my air conditioner goes off, my capture card starts to blink. It's weird. And so we're not going to check that. But technically, we could pass in 1 and 1, and we should get back 2. This is going to work. Yeah, see, it works. The test passed. Great. Awesome. But Doc has us fooled, or not fooled, but he has us pinned. What happens if there are 3 of them? That's when we need the recursive call, which we haven't accounted for yet. So let's do this. It should simulate for 3 arguments. So if we have x, y, and z, let's take a quick stretch. Good night, DV man. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us for a while. Oh, nice, Lim. Downloaded this app. Timeout. We're taking a break. But if we do x plus y plus z, technically, well, not technically, if we pass in 1, 1, and 1, we should get back 3. But this is going to break because we have a nested subtree of like y plus z. Nan. So we need to account for, let's see what we've done. If it's an actual operation, great. Then we're going to do this. But we're not handling the edge case here where if it's not, if the operation itself is not an argument or an immediate value, then that actually means it's an operation. So, I mean, what I would like to do, I don't know if this will work, but what I would like to do is say instructions.concat, generate code with node.a. Because that's going to generate that equation for that nested item. But I know this is not going to work because we run into the scenario where we actually have to use the stack to push and pop values off of it. We could do any number of args. And hello, the big bro. There's a similar recursive structure to pass to. You want to recurse first into both subtrees, then do something with the result. If I do this, what do we get back? We still get back nan. I want to see the assembly code that gets generated, though. That's... Oh, no, sorry. I know what I did. I need to say instructions equals instructions.concat. Like that. To reassign it. Now, will this work? I don't think so. Yeah. We get back the value 2. But this is the assembly code we generated. We have an argument that is the second, which is going to be like z, and we swap that, so it goes to register 0, and then we add. Actually, let's read it from right to left. So we add argument 0 and argument 1. So we add x and y. And then that whole thing needs to be added to argument 2. But what we have here, yeah, I don't know. Doc, could you possibly give me... Oh, I'm using node B in the recursive call? Oh, thank you. Yeah, sorry. A instead of B. So this technically should be B. Will that work? No. Okay, it doesn't work. Good. I would have been mad if that worked, because I don't know what's happening here. But Doc, could you give me the assembly code that should be generated given x plus y plus z? Like, because I can't even imagine what that would look like. So, oh, I think I get what you're saying earlier though, because you said something A, something B, something. So A is basically taking this result and storing it somewhere so that way we can use it later. I think that's what you're hinting at. And also, Doc, you don't have to stick around while I'm struggling with this thing. This is one solution. Where op is add, subtract, multiply, divide. Let's think about this. So this is going to be like what we were originally generating when we didn't have these subtrees, just the basic stuff. We then push that. So if we have a node with A and B, this is what we need to generate. Like the A side, the B side with push, swap, pop, and then the operation of that parent node. Okay. Is the array read left to right or right to left? It is technically executed left to right. Run A, push the result onto the stack. Run B, swap the arguments, pop the saved result of A, and then do the thing. You make it sound so easy, Doc. Swap it, push it, pop it. Okay. Well, let me do this. Do something. We have to figure out what that something is. Pop it, push it, swap it, twist it. You're silly. I mean, I think this could be one branch here. And then otherwise we got to do the other thing. Twitch it. Nice, Morty. If only comments could be executed, right, Sigma? Just do something. Like this whole thing right here can only happen if the A side and the B side are arguments in immediate values, right? So if node.a.op is equal to arg. No, actually, I think this is where we would actually check if it's an operation. So if node.a.op is an operation, or node.b.op is an operation, then we have to do something different. That's about all I've figured out. We have to do something different. Otherwise, we can just do this here, which generates those assembly instructions with an argument and an immediate value. Oh. Sigma doesn't like the tilt on my or. I could probably turn it off. It's in this theme that I installed. I really like the colors, but I'll agree. I agree. I initially installed the theme and then disabled it because of this, but I've gotten used to it. But yeah, some people see those as comments, which they're not. They're in or. And hello, CX. What's going on? I don't need to look at A or B at all. You just need to run them, since they'll fulfill the execution contract. I don't understand. I'm also tired. I think I'm gonna give up for today. We did not slay the beast. We did not defeat the tiny 3-pass compiler. But I will not. So I think I'm done. I'm gonna say. We'll do this another time. No. The thing is, when I look at your code doc, it's so simple. It's like it's so little code that I don't understand what's happening. To do, finish the thing. But for those of you that are watching, yeah, I mean, we tried. You know, I know when to admit defeat. But for those of you that are watching, I can show you how Doc solved it. Wait, is this it? No, we only did pass 2 last time. Actually, I'll bring it up on Discord. Because Doc did send me his solution. And yeah, it's on Discord. It looks so simple. It's so simple that I don't understand it. Let's see. This. Look at this. This is all the code it takes for pass 3 in terms of Doc's brain. But I think the main reason is because he has this reduce AST function, which is this, which takes in a function, a value, no, a function that will return a value, and the node itself. If it's an argument or a mutable or an immediate value, do the thing. If it's an operation, actually perform the operation with a recursive call. And then that function is then used with the different assembly instructions. Like, I can, I think this is what we did last time before I gave up. We put Doc's code in and it just worked. But we do need to address this and come back to it. Oh, but we need the reduce AST function. All I'm missing is that, and I can hit submit. Oh, Doc. Should I? Okay. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set a 10-minute timer, and if I can't get it working in 10 minutes, I'm gonna throw in the towel. 12 minutes. Because I think I get what you're saying. Like, this here is all about the subtrees, right? You have the operation that's being performed on those 2 subtrees. Whoa, pressure. All right, let me make sure my sound is on, too. All right. That's all we need. It's just run A, save it, run B, recall the saved result, then add those 2 things. Nani? How can we not keep going? Go. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay. So, basically, and I think what you're saying is right now, what I have right here is able to run A or B if they're completely simplified, but we need the recursive call. Actually, let's go back to that. So but you were saying, Doc, that I don't need this if statement. But so if here, this is what I'm thinking. If the A operation is an operation, then we need to actually do the thing. So I can say instructions equals generate code with node.a. push. Oh, I think I see what you're saying. No, I think it's okay. Let me try to do this, and then I'll look at your comment. But I think I get that. So we technically just generate the code for both sides of the tree, node.b, and then we have those two operations: swap. Keep going, and then pop, and then the actual operation itself, which is operating instructions at node.op. Hello, Murdoch. It's been a while. Welcome, welcome. And that's it. We're done. Is that really it? Okay, but I think I need to check or B. So operation instructions at node.b.op. So if either of them are like a nested subtree, then do this thing. Yeah? Yeah? I didn't need the second if. I mean, it technically works. Alright, I'm not going to pretend to understand it, but we've written... We wrote most of the code. So just if node.op. Oh. I don't understand any of this, but good job. I don't think so. And hello, Code Show. Welcome, welcome. If operating instructions node.op, then we do this. Else we do this? Yay! I don't know. It works. Here's what we got to do. We got to throw a really, really complex problem at it and make sure that it actually does the thing. But comment out all of the middle. Comment out all of this. Are you kidding me? Oh. Oh. Well. Okay. It works. I think mainly what I don't understand and what I probably need to write out is what's actually happening here with this assembly code, because that's a little the code that gets generated here is a little bit different than I believe what was in their description, right? So, okay, we're gonna get rid of all this code. This is what we're gonna do. Good evening, 6N1. Welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, I'll try the, yeah, we can just plug it into Code Wars. Okay. Hard flex by Doc. No, the thing is, like, I could not have done this without Doc. Absolutely not. But I did, for the most part, write a lot of the code. I mean, my code looks nothing like the code that Doc shared with me. So you have to give me some credit. But at the same time, we couldn't have done this without Doc. When did I add slow mode? I have it going in the mornings because there's a lot of people that watch in the mornings, and it gets a little hectic. I probably could disable it right now, but I'm probably gonna end the stream soon, anyways. But yeah, let's try their tests. And I mean, does this work? Yeah. Yeah, I wrote 10 times as much code, so if we're going by, oh wait, no, I didn't save it. But yeah, if we're going by number of lines of code, I win. Doc is the real MVP for sure. All right, so there are these are the tests that came with the thing. So let's see if they work. Oh, and yeah, these are really complex programs. So we've done all of our tests with, like, compared to this, fairly simple programs. But now's the big times. We have lots of nested expressions and nested calculations, and we'll see can we actually compute them, and that's what these will do. Like that. So those two passed. Compiler pass 1 of the program should deep equal. Oh no, to deep equal is not a thing. To equal. It works. I don't know if you noticed it, but I have a jest runner, and it can do that. Now let's see if we can find any runtime bugs. The thing is, with these tests, we didn't have to account for that. So like, we were always guaranteed that the program is correct, and that it doesn't have syntax errors or like missing parentheses or stuff like that. Cool. So we've done it with huge help from Doc. But here's what I'm interested in. So we tested it. Oh, look at that. We did it in time. But we tested it with this equation, which was x plus 10. Now submit and get my 1Q rank. We'll do it in a second. But in this test, we did x plus 10, this one. And if we look at the assembly code that we're generating, this is actually different than what gets generated, or what they show is generated in the example. So we have x plus 2 times 5, and we're passing in 1 as x, so we should get back 11. But let's just see what assembly actually gets generated. You'll notice it is this, which is a little bit different than what was provided in their example, but which is okay, because it's like, I mean, not exactly, but you could say it's like one person using a for each versus another person using a for loop. Ultimately, the program produces the same output. It's just it's just written in a different way. So we take the argument at 0 and we push it. Then we have an immediate value of 10 and we swap it so it's in register 0. And then we pop it, which gives us back what was in register. Well, no, what was in the stack, and then we add those two together, which is a little bit different than put the immediate value 10 in register 0, swap it to register 1, put the argument 0 in register 0, and then add the two things in register 0 and register 1. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. Yes, this is JavaScript. I'm about to push the code up to GitHub so you can take a closer look at all of it. But basically, and yeah, I'll do a recap of all the stuff that we did. I want to see the graduation 1Q. No, I think I'm actually ranked like 3Q right now. I don't think I'll get. Yeah, I'm ranked at 3Q. I'm probably pretty far from a 1Q. Yeah, in a real compiler, you could simplify unnecessary instructions out, and that makes sense. Takes a couple more cycles, but it gets the job done. Thank you, Flidra. That's exactly what happens. I guess you could add swap times 3 each time you swap, and it still should work. I don't know. A VM instruction set. In a way, they call it like an assembly language, and then they have this simulate function, which can take an array of assembly, or like their assembly instructions and execute it. So, for example, if we hit like, what's a good example? Yeah, I guess any of these are, but if I have a program that takes in no input and returns 5, that should technically just generate the very simple assembly code that puts the value 5 in register 0, according to simulate. And then when I simulate it, I should get back the value 5. Yeah, but technically, given an abstract syntax tree, we had to generate the assembly code using these instructions. Petition to get guest doc as a pair programmer. Yeah, I'm actually in the works. We're gonna do a Meet the Mods stream, and we'll do a Q&A, maybe some pair programming with Doc and Alka and who else? Kobe and David, the new mods, and Infi possibly. Some might not be able to make it, but I want to do that stream very soon. It'll be fun. We'll get all the mods in. You can ask them questions and stuff like that. This theme is called Just Black. Yeah, push to GitHub and suddenly a load of people get a 1 key rank as well. All right. Oh yeah, and thank you, Master Agent Miyazaki. Hello, Carl. I'm about to stop streaming, but thanks for dropping by. Do I win? To win the competition? No, we'll see. Okay, let's submit my code and see what happens. You all were here for it. Let me remove any thing we don't need. Okay, so yeah, we don't need these comments here. That's about all we need. We've got operators, operations. We have checking the precedence of the operators. We have the taking those tokens and turning it into the abstract syntax tree. We have a way of parsing in arguments. We have a way of taking the abstract syntax tree and simplifying it. And then the last thing, which I actually don't even understand, but we figured it out thanks to Doc, is to generate assembly code from that tree. And then, yeah, so that's it. So take this code and we will submit it. Yeah, and you can see so a quick learning thing if you're new to JavaScript. The putting functions on the prototype is like the old way of doing it. The new syntactic sugar is to use the class keyword. So we can use the class keyword compiler, and then these are methods, which technically just get put on the prototype. But it's another way of writing it. And that's how they provided the code. But we're going to throw our code in like that and see what happens. And thanks for the follow, Jens. And thanks for the follow, Yogi. I won the battle, but not the war. Yeah. Yeah, and it passed the example tests. And when we click attempt, it's going to run it against a whole other test suite of like random test cases. Hello, Yash and Kale. I don't know. Do I use string literals? What do you mean by that? But all right. Actually, let's get a drum roll sound, because we're about to do the final submission. I will say that this problem has been haunting me for like the past 2 months since we started it. This is like the 3rd or 4th time that we've revisited it, and we finally got it for the most part. I'm not going to claim like much of any. Let's say I did about 50% of the work, and Doc did the other 50%. Maybe it's like a 40-60 split. Syntactic sugar, it's what's for dinner. And thanks for the follow, Salui. First compiler is always the hardest. Yeah. Okay, what do we need? We need a drum roll. Oh. Looks like I have to click submit one more time. And look, my score went up. 1777. Wait, I was at 1649? It went up over 100 points for one. That's pretty good. All right, one more one more snare drum roll. Yeah, and Doc makes a good point. So we could take this code that we wrote. Yeah, we did it, Alka. We did it. Yerba mate. But yeah, we could take this little compiler thing and make it so that a bot command could actually execute math in the chat. But that way it wouldn't be evaling JavaScript. It would literally be compiling their math equation. Cool. Oh yeah, the mod stream. Yeah, I'll let everyone know. We gotta plan it, and I think initially we'll probably just do like a Q&A with everyone on the mod team. And then afterwards, organize some like pairing sessions or something like that. Alka 2. Hello, Buggy. I'm doing good. And hello, Jellywoot. We've done it. I can't believe we've done it, but we've done it. Oh, yeah. Does this use Wolfram Alpha? Wolfram Alpha? Alka? But did you write the parser yourself? I wrote math.parse. Okay, cool. I'm not really even gonna look and see how other people did it, but I am excited. Wolfram Alka. Yeah, that's what I thought I said. But I'm excited that we went up over 100 points today in that submission. Cool. Next Code Kata stream will be next Wednesday, and we are going to do the easiest possible problems. We're going to do some 7Qs. And so for those of you that are new to all of this and didn't hear me mention it earlier, but Code Wars is a site with different challenges like this, and the problem styles range. 8Q is the easiest difficulty, and it's really good if you're just learning to program. 1Q is the hardest difficulty. Oh, Greg, you've been here the whole time. What's up, Greg? Have a good night. I didn't understand a thing, but it was pretty cool. Cool. Time to invent 9 Q katas. The thing is, a lot of the 8 Qs are actually, like very, very simple. It's almost even like learning about syntax. Like you're given a function that's missing the return statement, or it's missing a plus sign or something like that. Some of them are a little bit harder than that, but it can get that easy, which is cool for learning and stuff. But yeah, then it gets all the way up to 1Q, which is extremely difficult. I believe this is the second 1Q that we've done. We did functional SQL, which was actually really fun. This one, where we implemented this function that you could execute across arrays. It's almost like a language integrated query that's in C#, or I guess .NET. Is it just in C#? I don't know, but that was the other 1Q that we did, and that one was really fun. It's so true, Doc. Like when people join the site, they're like, all right, I want something easy. I'm going to choose 1Q, and then they're just totally thrown off by the entire thing because, like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. And thanks for the follow, Lakshman. I think that's a lowercase L. And what's up, James Ross? It's been a while. Glad to see I'm going viral. I wouldn't call it viral. I would call it bacterial. I don't know. It's pretty good growth, but it's not insane growth. And I do like the slow grow, because otherwise I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Yeah, we're almost at 42K subs. At 42K YouTube subs, we're gonna do a special stream. Probably at least a 12-hour stream. It could result in a 24-hour stream, but we'll see. All right, that was fun. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I will push this code up to GitHub. Slow grow is the theme here. Yeah, definitely. If you go to github.com/codinggarden/code-katas, I missed the joke. Was there a joke there? I'm sorry. I'm tired. Been up here for 3 hours, which is not that long. I don't know. But yeah, if you go to this GitHub repo, all the code that I wrote will be there. You can see it. Let's find someone to raid. Is anyone streaming this late on a Wednesday evening? And let's definitely check out the Live Coders team. And again, shout out to the Live Coders. I am officially on their team as of today. And yes, Kata defeated. We did it. Oh, thank you, James. Much appreciated. Growing like a seedling. Can we get some Doritos drops? Can everyone in the chat just drop a Dorito? Here, I'll show you how to do it. You do drop, and then type in Doritos chip with a capital D and a capital C, and then we'll see some Doritos on the screen. Let's see. The Primigian and Vape Juice Jordan are live. Let's raid Vape Juice Jordan. I actually like lurk his stream every now and then. He's a cool dude. He's really into TypeScript. So if you like TypeScript, you'll like that. You'll like what he's doing. Well, thank you. Woohoo! Woo! Doritos. Oh, and I guess it technically doesn't work on YouTube because YouTube doesn't have the Twitch emotes. Yerba Mate drops. TypeScript? And thanks for the follow, Sigma Calculus. Teach us TypeScript. Okay, coming soon. And pretty soon, I'll teach you all TypeScript. Cool. So, if you are watching on YouTube, head over to twitch.tv/codinggarden. Oh, that's true. We're gonna do a raid. But yeah, Doc is saying I spent a stream making a yerba mate dropper. I don't have it enabled right now. Though actually, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take 2 minutes to start it up because we did it. We did it, everyone, and that deserves a celebration. I don't even remember what I called it, though. Pixel art? Rain? Rain yerba mates. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so it's running on port 3008. Here we go. Shout out to Doc. Shout out to everyone for watching me struggle through this problem. It was a good time. Here are yerba mates. And actually, I need to make a grocery order because I am out of yerba mates in my fridge. I bought like 20 of them when the pandemic started and I had to stay home all the time, but we are now out. So I got to go get some. Nice. And Alka and Doc have the raid message, so copy that message, and we will share that whenever we head over to... Oh, man. My screen's turning off. Secure your cable. You just may not see my screen for the rest of the stream. There we go. Light server is just a static file server that automatically refreshes whenever your files change. You install it with Node, but it's really just for like front end stuff. Cool. All right, let's do the raid. Vape, Juice, Jordan. Cool. Alrighty, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. The next stream, let's say the next stream is Friday. Friday, we will work on the home inventory app, try to get some stuff done and not just talk to the chat. That's the plan. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Huge shout out to Doc. Be sure to copy and paste that raid message. I need an epilepsy warning. I just need a new capture card, but thanks, everyone. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And until next time, here's this.